Hi guys, and welcome to CoSy. CoSy is basically this year's answer to COVID from last year. Basically, all of your favorite costumers came together to make an online convention for all of you guys. And this is one of my contributions. For those that don't know me, my name is Miah, and I used to sew for professional theater, but on a very small scale. I worked with very low to no budget theaters. And on my channel, I'm doing a series where I go through all of the tips and tricks and life hacks that I picked up as a low to no budget costumer, so that other people coming up in the industry would have an easier transition into things. And this video, obviously, is going to be on all of the ways that you can keep track of clothing backstage. Because we all know that costume pieces, when a show is going on, just sprout legs and crawl all over the place and get lost. Standardization! Are actors being referred to by their last name or their character name? Make sure that your measurement sheets, your clothing labels, and your hanger labels all match. Some companies name people by number if they are in similar roles, or if they're all in a chorus line, for example. Also, if you have multiple actors playing the same character, you may have like Beast 1 and Beast 2, for example. I don't like this personally, but it does work for some people in some companies. Or they could just go by their last names, like I said. Just pick a way of keeping track of everything and make sure that everyone sticks to it. And that will make your life a million times easier, and it will make delegating things easier. And delegating is good. 90% of your job as a costumer is just understanding what to delegate and what to hold on to. So 100% delegation is good. Now, labeling clothing is really important for when you wash your actors' clothes, and you will wash your actors' clothes. Everyone's white button-ups look absolutely identical coming out of the dryer. So do be sure that you've labeled them, or your laundry crew is going to hate you. Also, no matter how small your crew is, and no matter how mature they are, clothes are going to wind up where they do not belong. They're going to wind up not in the correct place on the rack. They're going to wind up on the floor. They're going to wind up stuffed behind a couch cushion in the break room, and you're gonna have absolutely no idea how it got there. And what's really important is that if it's found somewhere weird, it has the label and it can get back to exactly where it needs to go as quickly as possible. You just want it to be as easy as possible to catch and fix a mistake. Tags! Sewn-in bias tape or twill tape tags are kind of the industry standard. I have seen some people embroider their fabric tags either with an embroidery machine or by hand. Fine point Sharpie works just as well, and it saves so much time and energy, which translates to saving money. I do recommend using a fine point Sharpie because they tend to bleed less and stay legible. I've never had a problem with the ink coming off of the tag and staining a garment with Sharpie, so I really can't recommend them enough. If you're only doing a 1 to 2 week run of the show, it may be practical for you to just use masking tape and a Sharpie as your tag. I actually made a pair of bloomers for a musical and tagged them that way 5 years ago, and I brought them home with me to use as pajama pants. And I've washed them, obviously, every time I've worn them for 5 years, and just recently as I was packing up for the move, and I should have thought to hold on to these or take a picture, but in the bloomers, the little masking tape tag that I had made 5 years ago was still in there and the Sharpie was readable. So take that information and do with it what you will. Masking tape and Sharpie works very nicely. It's not, aesthetic and dreamy, but it is practical. Know who's wearing what. Part of your job making a costume plot is to know who's wearing what anyway. So you'll already have this list, and it might be clever to take just the chunk of what each actor is wearing and give that to them, either in person in a handwritten note or on a printed out piece of paper, or you can shoot them an email or a text that has the list, because this will help them to know what costume is made up of what pieces and what scene they're wearing it in. This is also really good to have on hand so that dressers or people that are going to be helping with quick changes can know at a glance what is supposed to be where if they're setting a side of the stage for an actor to do a quick change. Typically actors do that themselves, but sometimes you'll run into a night where an actor forgets to set something, and then either a member of costume crew or one of the dressers for the show run, or someone else in a position doing that job has to run and do that. So it's just good. It's good to make things as foolproof as possible because believe me, everyone will turn into a fool as soon as the curtains go up. And I do include myself in that. It's just the adrenaline, you know? Goodie bags! You will want to have a goodie bag, or a ditty bag, as apparently everybody else on the internet calls them. Anyways, all of those little accessories, man, they are notorious for sprouting legs and crawling all over and winding up where they're not supposed to. And so they need to be kept under lock and key. Not literally lock and key. Now, first I'm going to show you my hack for a very low to no budget ditty bag that works just fine for a community theater project. A proper ditty bag looks like this. I do have a pattern for y'all and it is free and the tutorial went up yesterday, so you can feel free to check that out at your leisure. A good ditty bag can fit a pair of tights, a change of shoes, jewelry and gloves, a corset, and possibly like a scarf or something. Honestly, you never know what an actor is necessarily going to need for a show. Any hanger bag with a good mess of pockets should be fine. You can also have a list of everything that is supposed to go in each actor's ditty bag or goodie bag, and possibly a diagram of like which pocket it goes in. This would help your dressers and your laundry people find things and make sure that they're set back in the right place at the end of the night. It at least gives them a fighting chance. Related pro tip: if you have a costume crew that you are responsible for the scheduling of, it's really practical to have at least one person who closed the night before be there during the opening the next morning. Whoever sets the costume rack at night, basically, is then present the next day when actors are getting ready and finding all of their stuff. And that way, if, for example, a pair of tights got eaten by the washing machine and everyone on laundry crew was way too tired to make a note of it, at least one person who was there the night before and was too tired to make a note of it is there the next morning to go ahead and make a note of that and get a new pair of tights for that actor before there's an issue possibly. Or after there's an issue, they at least have it jog their memory and know what happened and can fix things quickly. Or find things quickly if something got stuck somewhere weird for some odd reason.
If you have absolutely no budget, another thing you can do is just take a very large Ziploc bag and write the actor's name the standardized way right there on the bag. And you can also make a little list of everything that's supposed to go in your little bag. And now the way you turn this into a ditty bag is you just fold it in half and you cut about an inch in the middle, just like this. This way it can slide over your hanger. And now so that your actors can open it while it's hanging, open it, and cut a little slit into one section of the zipper. This will allow it to open. And now for the cost of like 10 cents, you have a ditty bag for every actor.
Now, that is everything that I have to impart to you as far as keeping costumes organized in a backstage setting. If you have any tips or tricks from your own experience, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And that way everyone can watch the video and scroll through and have a good amount of resources to look over. And I might have a badge for you. And if I do have a badge for you, it will be floating here.
There is a link in a pinned comment as well as in the description box that has a little form that you'll fill out with your name and email.
And then you will have your badge. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like so more people like you can see it. And as always, my Ko-fi and other social media links are in the description box below. Feel free to donate if you want to help the channel. Right now we have a donation goal of $400 to help me break even on expenses for last year and this year as far as, pattern making, programming, and everything else that goes into making sewing videos just like this one. Well, not just like this one. I didn't sew anything in this one. You know what I mean. Bye, friends! Pew! Making free content for my internet friends. Yeah.